we got cars. Lots of cars. Literally the minute I start to fill up, we had cars. Hello, and welcome to Also Driven. I'm Jim, and Sean's in Croatia. You're wondering what this is, aren't you? It's my new car. It's a 2015 Fiat 500L. And as you can see, that's not a British number plate. Yes, I'm in lovely Vermont, which is where the Fiat 500 is from. So why a Fiat 500L? Well, as you all know, I do love my Fiats. And this one will probably be the only one in the United Kingdom. Yeah, I know, they sell Fiat 500s in the United Kingdom, but this one's a little bit different because the American market one is completely different to what they sell in Europe. So starting from the outside, you have a completely different fascia on the car. The European one has a lot more black plastic in there. It's probably something to do with the low impact regulations they have in the United States, but it does give the car a slightly different look. It also means UK number plates won't fit on it, so we're gonna have to get one of those little square number plates like we had on the Honda N1. Which gives it that little bit more air of mystery. Then moving backwards, you have a much similar rear end, but just very painted. So this is a 2015 car. In 2015, this area here would have been black plastic in the UK. Ooh, gas struts. Very posh, and they actually work, which isn't bad for a 10-year-old car. Anyway, this is the thing that makes the American car different to the British cars, is that it uses Fiat's multi-air engine, which was not really used in Fiats in Europe. They tended to mainly go with the 1.4 fire engines. Difference is this one generates 160 horsepower, which is a lot of piff for these little cars. Because it's actually shared with the American Abarth. European-wise, I think the Mito used this engine. Hopefully it does, or else I'm going to have trouble getting parts. So young Mr. David over on the Indecisive Auto channel is going to be, well, let's just say I'm going to have to use my famous term. Yeah, it'll be the old, David, how much do you love me? As you well know, David is a dab hand at sorting out little paintwork issues on cars, and this one unfortunately does have a few. It was owned by my friends in Vermont, Terry and Joanne, and Vermont unfortunately does have quite harsh conditions. We got married out here. The day we got married, we did it in a Fiat Tempera, and it was minus 27. I had left a bottle of Coke in the car overnight, and it had frozen, and that was in the garage. It wasn't even in like the street. It was actually in the garage attached to the house, and the Coke had frozen. So it is very hard on cars out here. Terry and Joanne, they do get the car film coated every year, which is like a Waxol type product that gets sprayed underneath. So it has kept it fairly rust free, but it does unfortunately mean that there are, as I say, quite a few little scrapes and scores on it, but we will see. As I say, it's a bit of a project. We'll get it sorted out. Something for David and I to do. The other big difference with the American 500L is, well, for a start, the steering wheel's on the other side of the car. But what it does, lift the seats up here, is it has a normal automatic gearbox, or what I would call a normal automatic gearbox. It is a 6-speed traditional auto. It's not one of those twin clutch or robotized systems that they have on the Fiat in the UK. So it means you've actually got a much smoother drive and much easier to do like 3-point turns and things like that. It's also got quite a plush interior. It's got leather heated seats. Sort of a must in this part of the world, but you know, as I say, maybe not needed so much on Anglesey. Other difference is that everything's going to be in American, so obviously Fahrenheit, and the miles per gallon, I think we do it on this button here. Let's see if we go through this. Range, distance traveled, average fuel consumption, 28.5 miles to the gallon. Yes, it's the downside of 160 horsepower. You can go through quite a lot of fuel, but not as much as you think, because American gallons are considerably smaller than UK gallons. Yep, more measurements in the freedom scale, which I believe is what the F stands for. 67 freedom degrees. The American 500L gets lots of upgrades, so Beats audio is standard. So if I want to have some pumping tunes, yes, anybody who says pumping tunes never actually has anything resembling pumping tunes, but if I want to have pumping tunes, I can. Yes, because most of the boot is actually taken up by a huge Beats amplifier. Although we do get a nice fake floor to actually cover up all the lovely Beats stuff under there, which is actually movable. So if you wanted to, you can actually put this in slightly higher up, and then you can have some underfloor storage. Although that's obviously the same as what you get in the European ones. Yeah, I just keep looking at all of this and thinking, David, how much do you love me? It's really dirty. It needs cleaned. Oh, we also have a backup camera, which I'm not quite sure if we had on the 2015 Fiats in the UK. It was a legal requirement out here by that point, but I'm not sure if the UK ones had that. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a sunroof, which is one of the things I really would have liked in the car, but it was my friend's car. I was there when they bought it. I've been driving it when I've been out in Vermont several times. They are fastidious with the maintenance of the car, so beggars can't really be choosers. So bear with me on this. This is a bit of a rant. This is one of the reasons I really dislike tech in cars, because the big problem with tech in cars is that cars last a lot longer than iPhones. So it means when you go to then try and connect your current phone to a system which is 10 years old, it'll never work. So if we go to phone, no phone, would you like to pair a phone? Okay, so start pairing procedure. So we're going to go to Bluetooth. Bluetooth is on. We're going to go to pair new device. It's going to pick it up. You connect. Hit you connect. And this is the bit where it gets very boring, because this is, they try and talk to each other and cannot communicate with you connect. So somewhere in the last 10 years, whatever phones that system was designed for no longer exist. They're all in landfill somewhere, or the batteries are now in Nissan Leafs, or whatever happens to your 10-year-old phone. And that's never been updated. Phones obviously have changed a lot in 10 years, and I'm now left with a Bluetooth system that does bugger all. Thankfully, we still have some oldie worldy tech which still works. So at least I can play music, which unfortunately I can't demonstrate because of licensing laws, but you get the gist. So, what's it like to drive? Well, it's an automatic, so it makes it very easy. Steering's hydraulic, which I thought was quite strange, especially considering it's spun off the Vauxhall Corsa floor plan, which is, I think, one of the very first cars that used, well, mainstream cars that used electrically assisted steering. Which then transferred across into the Fiat. So, you know, all the Puntos and the Panda, which I know is not on the same floor plan, but the same technology, was used. But yeah, as I say, we are effortless. The 160 horsepower is a bit of a surprise in something like this, because back home, what do they got, like 90 horsepower? You got the diesels, you've got the little twin airs. I mean, nothing particularly sporty, but yeah, really quite surprised that I've been out on the interstate and it can really lift its skirts and just go. By the way, this is some back roading we're doing in Vermont. We'll just turn the camera around and let you have a little look at that. Yes, all very pretty on this very late Tuesday afternoon as we're out sort of go exploring. I think this is the White River Park, which is just off Route 2 near, well, south of Burlington, really. The river's just running beside us. Very, very pretty, lovely part of the world. Would definitely recommend you come here, but if you do come in winter, pack your undies. Oh look, it's the national car of Vermont! Subaru! Parked up at Waterbury Dam, which is very cute at the moment. I have the world's loudest American behind me, so, well, actually, no, they're all really loud, aren't they? Anyway, that's the Fiat 500L from 2015, and all we have to do now is get it to New York.